Hello, everyone, and welcome to the seventh session or town hall of the Guardians of the Borg. We're here today to talk a little bit about the results of that last session and what we're going to come up with in the future, as well as the two initiatives that are the Vault and the Referral Boost. These two are going to be live relatively soon, so we're going to talk about them at least just a little bit. It's going to be relatively short. We have a slightly robotic Danny here with me, but we can hear him fine, so we'll go as if everything was normal. He's just entering the matrix, so forgive him for this time. And talking about the stage, Danny, I'm going to give you the stage right now to say hello and talk about the stats.
Thanks, Benji. So, hi everyone, and I hope you hear me without bugging. I spent too much time with the Guardian, I guess. That's maybe why I'm bugging a bit. Yeah, that's strange. I see myself, lagging a bit with the sound, but okay, no, doesn't matter.
No problem.
Yeah. Let's go into the statistics. So we have 6,222 answers for this session of the Guardians, of which of those, like we have 5,741 unique users. So don't try to. It's maybe people who want to vote many times, and they can actually, but I don't know. Maybe it's like they change their mind and wants to allocate a little bit more to be eligible for the forced choices. Or
this time, I think that was the reason.
Yeah, probably. Out of those people, we have 4,000 people eligible for reward. So let's remind everyone that the threshold right now is like 500 voicing power. So what's changed for this session of this of the Guardian of Borg is that we allowed everyone to vote, even the standard, but they have 0.5 multiplier. So it means that they will need a lot more Borg to hold if they want to get accounted for the reward. For the limitation, we have 1,500 people who are not eligible, but we'll talk about it a bit later, I think, in 2 slides, I guess. Here it's a little bit more numbers, so you can see the participation of each premium tiers, and the high and and the repartition of each that we have in total. So we have 40. It's a bit small, but we have 44,000 premiums in total for October 2023, and the amount that we have in this vote is, I should have done the math here. Let's
it's gonna be tricky.
3, 4, 5, around between 5,500 and 6,000 premium that voted. So
good catch.
The number are a little bit higher for this session, maybe because it goes back from Google Docs to a type form, and also the fact that we have the confirmation, it also helps, and we can also see that committee premiums are also represented the most in this session. So a lot of member interested, so keep it up. Next time will definitely be a higher number.
Exactly. I think maybe the Vault also helped a little bit. It's an interesting topic, and it gives some sort of incentive that's on top of the usual rewards to actually give your voice and participate in this. So maybe that's also something that helps the numbers here. We have a question here for the premiums, so I'll take it right now. Where are all the other premiums? Would be interesting to know if they are active in the app but not voting. Yeah, we obviously don't have that data right now, but you know what? I think it's something that we have to look forward, or we have to look at, and come back with an answer next time. I think that's okay. Try and figure out how many are active and not voting. I think could be interesting.
Yeah, we also need to define what active means. For example, if it open an app is being active or just made a transaction. Yeah, that's something maybe let us know in the comment maybe what's your definition of active, like trying to be a little bit influencers here.
Because we could also have people that aren't active inside the app. They don't trade. They just invest once and that's it. And they just regularly do the guardians because you don't need to do anything. At the end of the day, you complete a survey and you get an extra reward for it. So maybe we also have some inactive users who are partaking in the guardians and some active who aren't. So I think that could be fun to see. Addressing the uneligible criteria. So the voicing power that we had as a minimum threshold this time was 500. And we saw that there are 1,500 people who still cast their ballots without having that was met. So this is obviously perfectly fine and their voice is heard and they are actually also impacting the votes as a whole, but they're not eligible to the reward. So I thought and built up this email that you see here on the right. It's just the beginning of it, where I basically explain, hey, unfortunately, you weren't eligible to the reward this time. If you want to be eligible to the reward, that's what you have to do, and redirected them to the blog. And I mentioned that, yes, we do. Your voice does impact the vote and where everything is going, but the reward is only reserved for people who meet that voicing power criteria, which is dynamic because we will be increasing it up until a certain point where we deem that it's fair. We obviously don't want to put barriers of entry here, but we also don't want to reward 1 cent, for example. The average voicing power being 110 made a airdrop of 0.008 cents, which is less than 1 cent, which just doesn't really make sense for us to do because we broke the app on the first vote for, I think, about 7 seconds. And we don't want that to happen again, even if it's not too long. It's just not something we encourage. Unless we're doing a meaningful airdrop, then we're just not going to do it. This is why the minimum is here and grinding up as the token's price also goes up. The sustainability score went up 0.1. Unfortunately, the way the sustainability score is calculated is based on the SwissBorg's profitability. And right now, or the profitability of the last month, wasn't very, very good. But I'm expecting that the next sustainability score will be better. So that will also mean that the total number of Borg in the pool will also be higher, which is good news for everyone here. Here is the pot's current status. So I've committed myself to actually keep track of all of this on this Google Sheet. It's a little bit complicated, but we can see here on the right that there's a USDC inflow that is of 12,000 USDC, and we have to buy the 55,000 Borg. This is the small purchase. And then we'll have a bigger purchase, which we'll use 125,000 USDC for. That will be done during the quota. We're going to try and time the best time during these 3 months to do it, but we're going to be doing it during the 3 months. This is a guarantee. At latest, it's going to be during session 9. But if we see a good opportunity to actually get some Borg at a cheaper price and help it to stay high, that's what we're going to do. So it's kind of it's not something that we're going to be announcing beforehand, but it is going to be happening in these 3 months. And once it does happen, we'll let you know on the session that's following it. The results. Here we go. Amazing.
Let's go.
Very happy.
So if I'm still not lagging, let's go for it. So the reward are like for 40% reward, 13.53% safety net. Burn and Borg are around the same, like 23.50-ish%. So that's a good news because the vault, which has been the first choice that has been presented to the community, has been so far the most popular choices. I think by far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Double.
Easily. So maybe a fresh reminder of what the vault is, or you want to talk about that a bit later, Benji?
Yeah, I think we have a slide about that later, just to talk about it as a standalone feature.
All right, so let's go back to it a bit later.
Yeah. You want to dive into the one by ones?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Trying to train my numbers.
Good luck.
Safety nets, yeah. So 861,000 Borg were already in the safety net. So to that, we are going to add the 52,000 Borg that were voted for this session, which it's coming to a total of 913,000 Borg for the safety nets.
Maybe we'll get the million before or next time or in 2 sessions. Oh no, everywhere CHSB? No, look, Borg. Yeah, okay, but we can't have a session that has a slide so that doesn't have a mistake here somewhere.
No,
At
actually,
least
it was, let's say, it was correct, but we had to put at least one mistake somewhere to see if people are too used to CHSB to not make the mistake and don't see them anymore.
good
So,
excuse.
yeah. Let's see. Actually, it's again CHSB here. Yeah.
This is a slide though I'd like to take if it's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Because
You get
this
the hot
session,
topics, so.
yeah, this session had 90,000 CHSB that were costed to be burnt. And this is super interesting because I remembered fighting for my cap and saying, hey, we need to have a reserve pool so that we can keep the burns at 150,000 tokens, right? I think everyone here remembers that. So now we have that 90,000 tokens, but this month we're actually going to be burning 150,000. And guess where the remaining 60,000 come from? That's right, from the cap. So I think that it's something that makes sense. It means that at the end of the day, we're burning more in dollar value because we could have burnt it 6 months ago, but it was worth twice less at that time. So right now we're actually using these tokens, these Borg tokens, to top up and burn the 150K that we've been regularly burning, making it constant, and you can anticipate it. And this is super important when you have a deflationary supply. You want to be able to anticipate it at least a little bit. So yeah, that's what we've been promoting. It's still sustainable, but not for long if we keep having these 90,000 votes. So we'll see how it goes in the future. But in the meantime, this was the big news, which we shared a few times already. So we're not going to talk about it too long. But I know a lot of people are happy about it. We burnt 500,000 tokens. Technically, we burned 500,010 tokens because we had the test transactions. But let's let's ignore the details and just talk about the 500,000 tokens that were burnt. Thanks to the Guardians, thanks to you guys. You wanted it, you got it, and we're gonna keep doing it. So hopefully in a sustainable and regular way and predictable way that I like it, but maybe not. But we're still going to continue burning every month. That's a guarantee. Unless we're migrating again and we have to postpone 1 month, but it will still be burnt. So there's no question about that. And the to be burned pool, which is what we're going to be burning and what we'll be taking Borg out of if we don't hit the 150,000 Borg cap, is 189,000 tokens big. So that means if we have 3 more votes with 90,000 Borg that are going to be burnt, we will not have a to be burnt pool anymore, and we'll have to see what we do about it. But for now, we're good to go. At least 3 more votes. So let's be happy about it and keep burning, especially during the winter. And then the airdrop, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, we definitely need to change also the design because it's still CHSB.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, so rewarded 150, 1,000 Borg rewarded. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's not wait and go to the.
Just this question: are the Borg tokens already held, or are they bought for the burn? They are already held. Well, they're bought for the vote, and then they're segregated into a to be burnt pool, and they're taken from that pool to be burnt. So they're kind of indirectly bought to be burnt, but we don't they're bought in a batch of tokens that is separated into 3 different things. So I don't know if that satisfies your question, but I think that they're bought to be burnt, but I guess the argument could be made that they're not, and they're just sitting there for a month or 2 or however long we take to actually vote the tokens that you're mentioning. Borg Vault. This is something that's super fun. We had to talk about it today to try and define even more how we're going to be structuring the campaign-ish that's going to be around it, because we obviously want people to be aware of what's going to happen before making it happen. So as you all know, there is an eligibility criteria that is of you need to have allocated at least 10% of your voicing power in this option. Now, if you haven't, don't panic. You can still put 10% next time and you will still be eligible, because it's just the accumulated voicing power that you allocated to that option that is accounted for in this eligibility criteria. So if you do 5% on the first one and 5% on the second one, then that's 10% and that's okay. Or if you do 10% and 0, that's okay. If you do 0 and 10, that's okay. The more you put, the more people will be able to let this vault be accessible to. Also, another warning is that the rewards are not a classic APY. They will be rewards sent out separately as gift transactions. What we're doing here isn't yield. It isn't replacing yield. And it's very important that basically people are locking their tokens to participate in the ecosystem, show that they're active, and show that they trust the token. We are in no way giving out any yield, and it will not be a classic earn strategy. It's going to be a opportunity. You're going to block your tokens. You're going to see 0%. And then at the end, when the tokens unlock, you'll have a gift transaction that will be airdropped into your wallet. And this will be the way that this vault will function. It's very important to understand. Also, unfortunately, UK residents are not eligible to that vault until the regulations can be cleared and more precise. We're not going to be taking the risk of including it and giving them access, just because we don't want to have to cut them out of the Guardians entirely. And more info early next week. So we're going to be releasing a blog article that's going to have much more details, like the numbers, the thresholds for each premium tier, the quantity of people we're expecting, the eligibility criteria, obviously, what to do if you missed it. And then we're also going to try to make it visible in the app next week, but this is maybe a little bit ambitious. So it might take a couple of weeks to be visible in the app. But once it is, we'll let you know through the Discord, and make sure that you enter the Guardians of BORG channel if you want to be updated for everything. This is where we'll be sharing the news as soon as you're supposed to see it in the app. And if you don't see it in the app, then you'll have to make sure that you vote more than 10% in this next session. Uh-oh. Right. This was a brainstorming slide.
Yeah, but it's okay. So
yeah, it's
let's
fine.
take this slide. We simplified a bit this slide because it was maybe overwhelming and sometimes a bit of information that was not necessary for the understanding and calculation of your reward. So here's all you need to have to calculate your reward. So usually we skip it because it's been 7 times already, and you should be, if you voted, you should be now aware how to do it. But a little reminder, because maybe there's new people now, and we can sometimes do a little bit of a reminder. We have your premium boost. So there's different multiplier from Genesis to standard users. You take that number, you multiply it by the number of CHSB that you held when we took the snapshot. Maybe next time we should put maybe the time that we put the snapshot. Should be November 2nd at something like 1 p.m. around that. If you voted the 3 last session, you have also a boost from 1.1 that you can add to your score. So it's the loyalty boost that we talk about the last session, I think. And last is the reward voice rate that you see in green here. So you multiply everything together, and that should be your CHSB reward. Little star here on the amount of CHSB rewarded. We took a little caution here because when we sometimes release everything, it's possible that sometimes there's some miscalculation or something. So we took the whole pot and we take a little bit of it out of it to correct ourselves in case something happened. In case nothing happened, that's just a precaution. We'll give back the CHSB to the pool of reward for the next session. So it's just in case something happened, that's because we are human, not yet cyborgs. And
even if you're lagging.
Yeah, even if I'm lagging. That's
But
the
yes,
first step of becoming a cyborg. But yeah,
replace CHSB by BORG in all document. Yes, yes.
again,
Thank
yeah.
Again, we're not human, and in our heads, we're still in love with both of those tokens. We're trying to get used to Borg, but we've been with CHSB for so long, we're struggling to let go. It's going to be a tough transition for us in the Guardians of the Borg, but even if we change the
Yeah.
name, our slides still linger for
If we weren't
CHSB.
honest, we would say like we put that to prove a point, like to prove that
None.
we can make mistakes sometimes. Fourth choice results. So that's actually the fourth choice for the seventh session. We had 19 voters, which are the moderators and the community leaders. We are planning to improve the number of community leaders later on because there's not only 19 people who knows the ecosystem well. We are planning to increase the number and ask more and more people to join us in the one who like knows the ecosystem better than yeah, definitely, who knows the ecosystem very well and are here like for a long time. But here the 19th who voted, they voted for the choice that you had for this session and the next one. So it's the Borg vote creation.
All right. And so the fact that we already have the choice for the next one means that the community leaders can be relieved that we're not going to um, entice them into having to think about what the choice should be for next time. It also means that we have no Slido link for this presentation. So what does that translate to? What could we show on the next slide that anyone would want to scan?
I like that build up.
Yeah, it's just the build up for something quite normal at the end of the day. But the
True.
votes are open. You can now make sure that you don't miss it. If you're someone who's a little bit clumsy, forgetful, or you don't mark it in your calendar like you're supposed to, then might as well do it now. You have, I think, roughly 2 or 3 weeks to do it. Well, enough time.
Yeah.
And it starts now, and you'll also get an email, and we'll do it in app and on social media as well. So if
And on
anyone
the powwow, yeah.
and in the powwow, so if anyone contacts supports to say that they miss it, I'm going to instruct them to send out the links of the 5 places we're going to be relaying this information in, and say, how did you miss it? And this is the first one, so don't miss it. Make sure that either right now, either after the live, you get back to the QR code, cast in your votes, and choose what you want to happen. And make sure to get that 10% in the vote if you want to be eligible to it. Very important. So I guess this
Yeah.
is how it works. Super easy this time.
Yeah, that's just the date. So just a reminder, maybe for also our influencers who wants to spread the word on the social media. The dates are here, so that you don't miss the end dates. And yeah, you can definitely skip
Yeah,
to the next
it's
slide if we have one. Yeah.
yeah, last slide, and then we free up everyone. On the blog, you'll find the answers to most of your questions. If you have any that are regarding the voicing power, that are regarding the buys that we're executing on the market, that are regarding the future of the vision that we have for the Gardens of the Borg, or regarding some of the fourth options, everything's covered in the article that was pushed in mid-October. And we will be obviously writing more articles in the future when it's necessary, such as probably in December or very early January, to talk about the quarterly change for the Guards of the Borg, because this is our second to last monthly session. Then it's going to be quarterly starting 2024. So all of the info's in there. Make sure you check it out if you have any questions. And in the meantime, thank you very much for your attention, and we hope to see you next time in here, or at the very least, in our next session or rewarded participants. So thank you very much, and catch you later.
See ya.